Act 1, Take 1, Action.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Post Production with your hosts, Aaron and Frank. It is award season, so we decided to watch a few movies that are up for some awards. First one we watched is The Secret Agent, starring Wagner Moura. So, this movie is about a gifted engineer who was working for a university, and soon after I think he was either appointed to some like new position. He is like a very highly regarded professor at this university, and his department is doing a lot of research to develop things. And there's a primary investor who is a very evil man. What was his name again?
Giorni or Geoffrey?
It's like Giotti or something like that.
Giotti?
Something like that.
He was
We
Italian.
admittedly watched the movie a few days ago. But yeah, so this guy is just a complete dickhead that wants to have control of the um, uh,
The research.
department and basically the entire thing. Yeah, the research. And so one thing leads to another. They become enemies, and our story begins with him returning home to his hometown in Brazil, and he's seeking refuge because he's still being hunted by this guy after years of his department being taken out one by one by this same person. And now he's next on the list. And our story has to do with us following him, making sure that he stays out of trouble, stays out of sight. And the town does not end up being the best place to seek refuge, it turns out. But yeah, brief little synopsis for you.
Great movie. Um, was the entire movie in Portuguese?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there are some parts where they're speaking English.
Yeah, there's an English speaker in the movie.
Yeah.
Um, the entire thing was dubbed. No, not dubbed. Had subtitles. I did not mind that. I don't mind foreign films. Because I feel like when they're dubbed, you don't really get the same performance
Yeah,
from
not at all.
characters.
I mean, it literally wouldn't have been Wagner Moura's voice.
Yeah. Um, but great movie. It was a long movie. Um, that didn't bother me either. I think the movie was 2 hours and 40 minutes. Um, but it seemed like every minute was needed, and I think they um, spent every minute doing something important, or just um, kind of showing you where he lived during this time period. Um, because did they talk about how Brazil is like the worst place ever, and they just yeah, because they said I
Well,
just want my kids.
the one refugee was very against Recife or whatever it is.
Mhm.
Recife, I think is the name of the town. But just Brazil as a whole. So it takes place in 1970s Brazil where, there's just so much corruption, and, you know, you see this through uh observing, like, for instance, the police officers' behavior in the towns, how they handle
Yeah, they're taking
problems.
bribes.
Yeah, they're taking bribes. And one really scary part, well, at least I thought it was scary. It's revealed when the contract killers who are hired to kill Marcelo, who is Wagner Moura's character, they are friends with the cops in the
Hmm.
town.
Yeah,
And like the cops, of course, are oblivious to who Marcelo is because he's using an alias. Um, Forget his real name, but
it's like and
Anal or something. I don't know. But Marcelo's his fake name. And yeah, there's a scene where the killers are in the car with the police officers, and they're like, "Are we going for a ride tonight?" And it's revealed that they have two people in the back, like just in the trunk. When I first watched it, I was like, "What the hell are they doing?" They're like just for fun, instead of arresting people and like bringing them to jail and them doing their time. There's some people that they just like kill. and dump their bodies in the river or the ocean, which is exactly how the shark with the foot is, brought up, because that is revealed to be something that they did and they have to cover it up.
Yeah, that's how you're introduced to the contract killers too.
Yeah, it's
That's like
like,
the first thing they do on
well,
screen.
that's the police officers. The contract killers were introduced to when they're killing a completely different person.
Yeah, and they dump the body in the river.
Yeah. I don't
Oh yes, I see what you're talking about. They
it wasn't like entirely proven that the first body was the leg, I think, or had the leg that was in the shark. Maybe it was. I don't know. But
yeah no that
regardless,
I see what you're saying.
the police officers later on have to go to the morgue and intercept the leg and make sure that they deal with it and they never get caught doing what they did. So like, police officers are not really there to keep the town safe. Like, they're just completely exploiting their power, and they know that they can cover it up and just completely get away with things. And it's so creepy. Like, the back of the uh truck, you hear people just like fucking um
They're yelling.
kicking around,
Yeah.
trying to escape, and they just don't even care about the fact that these are human lives. It was so nuts. And trying to think of the very beginning of the movie. It opens up where Wagner Moura is pulling into a gas station and there's a dead body in the parking lot.
It's been there for a week.
Yeah, it's been there forever. Going back to like, the police officers don't care about like safety.
Yeah.
They left that thing there forever because they're out doing whatever the heck they want.
Because they were this. The excuse they used was because of Carnival.
Yeah, Carnival was like the festival that was going on. And the guy at the gas station was like, "Oh yeah, you don't have to worry about that. We just shot him with a 12 gauge because he's trying to steal stuff." And it's like, the two of them are fine. But then when the police show up and you think that they're gonna deal with the body, they don't care at all about the body, and they care about Wagner Moura, Marcelo, and they're like asking him for money for like a donation to the service. It was fucking crazy. And then he says to them that he has nothing at all other than his cigarettes, and they still like make him take them or make him give them to them.
Okay, so speaking of that, he's like searching. The cop is searching Marcel's car, and do you think he was just looking for something to pin on him? Because he's like,
Yeah.
let me check inside your trunk. I need to be inside your car. Let me see your
Yeah.
fire extinguisher. But everything is good. He's got no contraband on him. He's like, do you smoke marijuana? And he's like, no. And then he resorts to, would you like to make a donation to the police? And he's like, I just have cigarettes. You can have them.
Yeah, it's like they didn't care at all about what had happened, which was like somebody literally died. They cared about like if they could figure out if there was anything wrong with this guy that could justify, in their eyes, them taking him and like killing him. Because later on it's revealed that that's what they're doing. And like, it's just great. Like, the theme of corruption in this was wild, and just how like the antagonist, the CEO, he literally saw the people on that research team as like numbers, and he showed that to them. Like, he treated them like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so crazy that even when they were out to eat, that one scene, he brought the son and he was being condescending, and he's like, "Oh, so she used to be a secretary for you, right?" It's like, she's a teacher. Like, she's also sitting right there. You could ask her these questions if you'd like to. And it's just so insane how he was blatantly disrespectful to that level. And it's because he didn't care about them. He didn't see them as like people. It was so crazy.
Yeah.
And even when he was going to like hire the people to kill Marcelo, he's like, "I want a hole in his face." It's like, he's like, and this is just some random like,
that's how we're introduced to him too. It's
yeah,
like we don't even know that he's an investor. Um, honestly, the whole time I thought the movie's called Secret Agent. I thought he was like an actual secret agent because I knew nothing about the movie. and I thought that he was just some guy that needed this guy dead, and he charged him. He was charged extra by the contract killers because I thought he had like skills or something. I wasn't expect. I didn't think this movie would be like Taken, where he just like kicks ass the whole time.
Right.
But apparently he was a high profile target, and then they start to break down the movie, and then I realized that um the investor was just a guy who wanted money from the university or wanted the research from the university.
Right. He was such a high profile target because of like what he knew
Mm-hmm.
and how he was in a way a secret agent because he was so associated with the one woman. Uh the guy says to him at the ID
Elza.
place. Yeah. At the ID place, he's like, I just want you to know I'm here to help you. What's her name is like instructing me, and that's all I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
So he was an asset to them because they were trying to get to the bottom of why uh the guy was involved.
Mm-hmm. And Marcel had information to bring him down,
Yeah.
and
One
that's why he wanted him dead.
one interesting thing that I didn't entirely pick up on in the moment was the housemaid's daughter dying. That like little uh thing that happened.
Like when he's in the ID center and the
Yeah.
rich woman is giving her testimony.
Right. So that's what was kind of flying over my head at the beginning. Like the rich woman is the one who's showing up, and they're kind of setting up that place for a, you know, interview designed to make her look like the victim, or at the
Mhm.
very least like
Yeah, because they had a photographer in there too.
right. It's crazy. Like they have a photographer in there to get pictures of her crying. They're giving her all the time that she wants to give her side of the story. And then when the lady who is the actual victim because her child got ran over by a car is running into the ID place to be like, say that to my face.
Mm.
You're saying it in front of cameras to protect yourself. You don't actually care about what happened. That's how I eventually like saw it. In the moment I was like, wait, this is just an ID place. Like, why are they setting this up? But they were doctoring the interview to do their like best way of showing her as the victim and not giving the actual victim any say in
Yeah.
the thing. That
That-
was very
That
crazy.
plays into the theme of corruption
Mhm.
and what kind of a setting this is.
Mm-hmm.
And like all those people were there. I'm sure they were taking pictures of the room
Mm-hmm.
just to make it look busy. Um, but yeah, every employee in that building was not real.
Yeah.
And it was just meant for the photo shoot, which is like weird.
Mm-hmm.
And then like as soon as Marcel gets in there, he's like, "All right, you're new, so just cooperate with the police, help them out if they need it." And then he's just kind of like sitting there, and everybody is just they're not even typing with paper. They're just like the person sitting next to him. She's typing, and there's no paper in there.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "It's fine."
Mm-hmm.
And so like this is a regular thing for them.
Right. Every other day that he's working at that place, they're doing something completely different too. It was just this one day where it was like, because it was such an ordeal that he was like thinking that he was working at a police station.
Hmm.
One detail that I was also confused by was like the chief taking an interest in him.
Yeah.
But it was literally just like he's just being a dickhead, like a douche. And he's like, "Oh, here's a guy that might be cool. Let's like bring him in and hang out with him." Like they really were just being nice to him in their way of being nice.
Hmm.
But he felt so uncomfortable because it's like,
Yeah, you're trying to show off.
right, like he thinks they're onto me. He's not onto him at all. He's like he's just being a douchey guy who
Yeah.
is showing off and flexing his muscles and being like, "Oh, I can go across the street to this German guy and force him to show me his wounds or whatever."
Hmm.
He was just fully bullying him. So like when I first was watching that, I was like, "Why the fuck is he doing this?" And it's like, "Oh, he's just like judging him by his cover and being like, "Oh, he's a cool guy. He's gonna think that we're the guys that he
Yeah.
wants to hang out with." Similarly to how he judges everybody else by their cover, especially the poorer people.
And he's the chief too, so he can just kind of get away with whatever he wants. He can
Mhm.
just go wherever he wants, do
Yeah.
whatever he wants,
Christ, he can
and
get away
nobody's
with
gonna
killing
blink an eye.
people.
or bat an eye.
He can get away with killing people, and if they find a foot in a shark, he can get away with that too.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, they spin it and turn it into like a little comic strip.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Like, people are just not taking it seriously.
yeah.
What it really is. Like, they have a false story that they can, play with and distract people with. And even the refugees are reading the comic, and they're like laughing about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, read it in that other voice. That's funnier. It's like they're like the whole thing surrounding that leg is being twisted and being lost in history of what really actually happened to these people.
Yeah.
And it's so nuts. And they touch on that very well with the ending, because it's the son admitting to the fact that he has like no recollection of his dad or his mom.
Mm-hmm.
He was raised by his grandpa. The place that the kid works at is adult version of himself. He's like a doctor. And it used to be where the theater was, where he saw Jaws. And I don't really understand why they kept showing sharks, but if I had to guess, my interpretation was like the shark is the corruption. It's like you're gonna get.
Okay. So that I just remembered that's exactly what I wanted to tell you about. So I think the obsession, or not the obsession, but like the theme of sharks was like that Italian dude, the investor. It like big business is considered like a shark. You're like,
Mhm.
oh, you're swimming with sharks. And this guy, shoot, what's our main character's name again?
Marcelo.
Marcelo. Yeah, he's like a little fish,
Mm-hmm.
and he can't really do anything.
Right.
But this guy has money, and he can do whatever he wants. So the shark is just gonna eat the little fish.
Yeah. He's just
And
under the
yeah,
like threat of being hunted at all times. And it's just nuts that like um you know there was basically I think no hope at all throughout the entire movie.
hmm
I didn't think that he was going to come out on top. Like, there was no end in sight where I was really thinking to myself, oh, this guy is extremely powerful in his own right. And, he's going to, like, it seemed like he was just hopeless. And it also seemed like he was being negligent because he was going to see his son, and the dad is like, do you even think you're supposed to be here right now? And then he reveals his real name to the other refugees at the camp.
hmm
He, uh,
he does it. He tells Elsa his real name. Um,
yeah. He also,
his father-in-law. I didn't understand if he knew he had a fake name, or because he was calling him Marcelo too, wasn't he? Like, was he
no,
always using a fake name?
he wasn't calling him Marcelo. He wasn't really calling him by his name for a while.
Hmm.
Because it was like, what got him outed was the dad going up to him at the ID place
Yeah.
and saying, "Oh, Armando, I think it was. Is
Yeah,
that
Armando. That was it.
Okay." He says Armando, and they're all looking at him like, "Who the hell is that?"
hmm
Um, but the other thing
And
that he
dude, he makes
tells,
it so obvious too that it's him, because he's like rifling through these cabinets looking for
Mhm,
his mother's death certificate,
yeah.
and he just like stops what he's doing as soon as he hears Armando. I mean, I'm sure I would have too, but like, yeah, he just like
Well, the
loses
first time he
color.
does because he knows it's the dad.
And he had the picture too.
The
So
first time he does because he knows it's the dad.
hmm
And then the second time, though, he, like you're saying, he does slip up and stop what he's doing when the killer comes in. But uh, he tells the refugees that he has a hit out on him. That's why I was like thinking to you, something's going to hit the fan real quick
hmm
because he's revealing so much. And they might even be somebody that he can't trust.
Yeah.
So that was just weird how he was like corrupting his own situation for himself. It was bizarre.
Yeah, he was getting a little too comfortable.
Yeah, he like
Do you think how long was he there? Do we know? Weeks, right?
yeah. He wasn't there for that long.
because he established a relationship with the neighbor upstairs.
Yeah.
And we don't know how much time passed,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like you could assume it was weeks because he's all friendly with everybody.
Yeah.
Um, and they're like all hanging out in the room, playing music,
Mm-hmm.
sharing stories, having drinks, and then they're actually having a go away party for two refugees.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when he reveals like all the details, which was dumb on his part.
Yeah. It was just he was clearly a reckless person. The grandfather, Fatima's dad, is even like suspicious of him cheating on his daughter,
Mm-hmm.
which was very odd for me to see because, with the exception, of course, of him being on a damn hit list, he didn't seem like a bad guy. And he did seem like he loved Fatima. So it was like, why would he be suspicious of that?
See, that's what made me think he was an agent too.
He is.
Like no,
You
like
you
an
mean you
actual
mean
like
like
a spy type
okay,
of person.
gotcha.
Because like I feel like a spy would have to do whatever they have to do to get the job done, and his father-in-law is just asking him about it.
Hmm.
Like, I know you loved my daughter, but did you ever mess around?
Right.
And yeah, so it didn't really click with me that he was a refugee until later in the film.
Yeah.
Like even when he gets to that little compound, the one dude is like, "We're refugees." But I was like, okay, maybe this is just like a safe house for him to stay at
But
or
it was.
something. Yeah, no, it definitely was, but like they knew who he was, they were expecting him.
They
So
knew his fake self. They
yes,
knew that
yeah,
a guy named Marcelo was coming.
yeah.
They knew nothing about his past, except for the one guy that was there for the grocery delivery because he was the one who was then in the room with the tape recordings
Okay,
at the
so
theater when it was the four of them.
well, I guess you said it earlier, but I was gonna say what's the significance of the title, but yeah, he has the information.
He is not just a refugee. He is like a liability to a very powerful man
Yeah.
that fully makes him an asset to somebody else. So that's how he's seen as a secret agent because he has information, he has the story.
Hmm.
One detail we have not talked about at all was the two people in present day.
Yeah. Okay.
The two people in present day, I thought it was interesting how the one girl is so invested in like finding out what these recordings mean, like finding out more information about what was going on. She's so affected by one of the cases that she has to take a break for a while. Like the girl across from her couldn't care less.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah,
she's
because she's listening to the exact same tapes that her
yeah.
friend is.
It's like it does not matter to one person. She finds herself even looking at like other videos and like procrastinating.
Yeah.
But then the other girl's like, I want to get to the bottom of this. She's even interviewing the son. Like, so that was a cool little contrast. And the one video I watched after we watched the movie, one of the interesting things that one of the guys said, I guess for future reference, it'd be good to write down these channels so I can reference them, even though they'll never watch this. They kind of made the point that, you know, the person who didn't care about the recordings is important in the scene because it's illustrating like a lot of people, when a lot of this corruption happens, you know, 30 years ago, people don't really care.
Hmm.
And it's just like, oh, yeah, okay, it happened. And one of the points that they made is like, think about present day and things that are happening in our world 30 years from now. Like, how is it really going to be remembered? What really is going to be like accessible to the public to just like look back on? Because this is a very odd time, stressful time,
Yeah,
and it could be not comparing it to other times in history. It's like it's not friggin' Nazi Germany, but like we are at like a weirdly dystopian time where who knows how it'll be looked back on in 30, 40
hmm.
years.
See, it's interesting that you say that because when he's sitting at the dinner table with Fatima, the investor, and his son, Marcelo is like, "You are just like taking our research and like making money off of it."
Yeah.
And I'm like, I didn't think it was that big of a deal because it's just so it seems so normal today, but like that is a huge deal. He's shutting down entire departments in a university and taking the ideas.
Yeah, he wants control over the entire operation,
Yeah,
and he will do so even if it means having them killed.
but it's so normalized today.
Yeah.
And like that happening in 1977 and 78, it bleeds into today. And it like if it just perpetuates itself because people like Marcelo are killed
Mm-hmm.
and like there's nothing you can really do about it,
Yeah.
but bringing it to the light is like showing like how the world operates and stuff.
Yeah. A lot of people like Marcelo who had pretty big impact at one point end up being just a picture in a newspaper, and not even his own son remembers anything about him.
Yeah.
Like and that is the powers that be at the time controlling how history is going to be remembered. Like a lot of these people were just pictures in a newspaper.
Act 2, take 1, action.
Just jumping into one absolute hit for me was the fact that you don't see Marcelo get killed. He does die. Some sort of like guy that works on some dock with like bags of sugar or something gets paid like $4,000 to get the job done, which I thought was interesting because I thought the two guys were hired to get it done,
Yeah.
but they didn't do it.
Yeah.
They just hired somebody else to do it for them.
I thought that was cool because
Um,
it plays into that corruption
yeah,
thing almost. It's like they were paid a lot of money.
right.
They were paid 6,000
Mm-hmm.
and he only paid the guy on the dock 2,000.
Well, he paid him 2,000 up front, and then he was going to
Oh
pay them
yeah,
another
yeah.
2,000 when he got it done.
And that like they didn't have to do anything.
Yeah,
And then one of them ended up dying
right.
for nothing.
And it was interesting too how like he ended up getting the amount of money that he wanted, but they were also making the comment like, "Look at you. Of course you're going to do this job for us."
Mhm.
It's like it's so
He
much
called
money.
him an animal.
No, he called the son an animal because the son was trying to be like intimidating
Yeah.
and like he was like, "You talk like a wild animal. Watch what you say." And then when he shoots him in the back of the fucking head in the barber shop, he says again, "Like a wild animal."
Okay.
That was badass.
Yeah.
That was pretty crazy. He hated that guy and he knew him for all of 10 minutes.
Why was the stepson following him?
To make sure that it got done.
And they didn't just take the money.
Well, that, but also like remember when we're introduced to the rich guy,
But then
he says, "I want no trouble with this at all. You don't know me." So like the son is making sure that
he was probably gonna kill the guy on the dock
yeah, that is actually a good point. He probably to just tie up a loose end, he was probably going to kill him right at the end.
because um the stepdad calls the guy on the dock and he says, "Is my son near you?" And he's like, "No, he's not on
Mm-hmm.
the job." And he's like, "Okay, good." So like I don't know because the uncle didn't or the stepdad didn't even want him there.
Yeah,
So that whole dynamic was weird.
he was just making sure. I
They
thought it
said
was interesting.
earlier that his they're pretty sure that he killed his mom and then just kind of took his stepson.
They were cold-blooded motherfuckers. When you're first introduced to them, they're having like a weird conversation about like women in the city. And then they get out of the car and open the trunk, and before they even take the damn body out of the trunk, they shoot it in the head to make sure it's dead twice.
Mhm.
I'm saying it, that's bad. The person
Yeah,
is dead.
absolute hit from me. The colors in the movie were
Yes.
really nice.
It was beautifully shot.
Like the opening scene with the yellow beetle pulling up
Mhm.
to the gas station. The sky is extra blue.
Yep.
The plants are extra green, and the yellow car is extra yellow.
Yep.
It looks so good.
The view of the highway, the river,
Yeah.
and the city operating when they're on that deck at the theater. That's so like just a real quick, I'll be done in 30 seconds. The theater becoming the hospital is so crazy. Like the
Hmm.
grandpa used to work there, that's where they saw Jaws. very interesting. But yeah, I really liked how it was shot. I actually, let's see, I
I
have
wasn't
my
blown away um by any shots. I wasn't like, whoa, that's a cool shot. Actually, there was one. They're
yeah
like
nothing.
looking out a window and then it zooms out and then you're inside of a room
Yeah.
and there's a person there. I did like that shot, but I wasn't really blown away by any particular shot in
Hmm.
the movie. But the color grading in that movie I thought was fantastic. It
Yeah.
looks so good.
I have also written down. I ranked the suspense since you and I went
Yeah.
in blind and truly until after the fact didn't know much about like the history of Brazil during the late 70s. I would put the suspense 5 out of 5 for
Hmm.
me personally. I was like, what's going to happen? There were many moments where you're at the edge of your seat feeling like this is when it's going to pop off. This is when it's going to pop off. I can see how some people um, would be disappointed just because you don't get the satisfaction of either seeing Marcelo win or actually seeing what happens to him. Um, but yeah, I think the suspense throughout following the killer to the ID place and him slowly going through the crowd and just saying his name over and over again to try and get his attention. In that moment, I was like, somebody's just gonna catch a stray.
Hmm.
Um, and then
Um,
it's just like, I think it was the most shocking was how he just immediately shoots the cops.
yeah.
I think that he could have just like bullshitted his way out of that, but he just immediately shoots them.
Yeah. It was
Um,
unnecessary.
yeah, it was just wild to me that that's how that ended up happening. I was very petrified that the grandpa was going to get shot, but they were just using him to like follow him to find Marcelo.
See him dying off screen. I do like it. I compared it to No Country for Old Men because it was similar. Um, but I just wish we knew who killed him. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was the guy on the dock,
Yeah.
but like I don't know, cuz right when before we find out he dies, he is like talking to Elsa,
Mm-hmm.
about to get the passports, about to get his son and get out of there.
Yeah.
Um, and then he's just dead. I do like that because there is like there's suspense the whole time. So like from the moment the hired the second contract killer or the guy on the dock shows up to the ID center,
Yeah.
you're like, "Oh man, like it's about to go down right now." It goes down and then Marcelo is just trying to get out of there, get to a safe place, get the IDs and go.
Mm-hmm.
Like that whole segment is very suspenseful and we see the guy on the dock kill multiple people,
Yep.
like two cops and the stepson,
Which was just brutal.
and like he just needed to get Marcelo the whole time. He
It's
walks
funny.
out of the barber shop
Yeah.
and then it cuts back to Marcelo and then that was it. Like
Mm-hmm.
Marcelo's on the phone and then I does it cut to the present then?
Yeah, but you don't immediately see him dead.
Yeah,
It's like she's still kind of surfing
she's
through
on
shit
the
and then
internet or
she
whatever.
finds it.
Yeah.
Um, what's funny to me though too is like we can't say for sure that it was the guy that was originally hired to shoot him because he had no incentive to finish the job at that
Yeah,
point.
he was
He
like on the
fully
beach.
killed the son. No, no,
Yeah.
no. I'm saying the actual killer.
Oh, yeah, oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
He had no incentive at that point to finish the job. He had literally killed the stepson. There's no coming back from that, even if he finished the job. In
Yeah.
my eyes, he would still be a dead man. So like, who's really to say what happened? Maybe that's like something the writer and or like the writer and the director or just the writer wanted to happen. It's like, oh, you know, maybe I wasn't paying attention to what Marcelo was wearing in the picture. But like maybe he died later on and it wasn't even
Hmm.
that guy.
Yeah.
And that could tie into the fact that we have no idea what really happened.
Because
And
on
neither does history or even his damn son. who
when
still
Marcel
who still lives around the like same
it's the
area.
same town.
Right. Like it's decades later and he has no memory of his father or his mother. And I guess it's just up for interpretation. He either doesn't care, just like the other girl who's in the present day who's just watching videos, or there really was no way for him to find out the information, just like how it was almost impossible for Marcelo to find any documentation of his own mom.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing, which is
But
crazy.
yeah, that was unresolved too. Because
Yeah.
when he's at the last time he's at the ID center, he just grabs a stack of
Mm-hmm.
cards and leaves.
Like at that
And
point,
like
he's
we
just
don't know if
desperate.
he ever finds it.
Right. Maybe we just weren't paying attention. I at least think we don't really know how the mom died.
Yeah,
Like
I don't think he did
they
either
said she
though.
was sick. They said to the son when he was little,
Yeah, okay.
he
Fernando's mom.
yeah,
Okay.
he was in the car with Marcelo. They were hanging out,
Yeah, he said she
and
had
he asks
pneumonia.
about when mom's coming back. And he's like distraught telling his son that she got sick, but the delivery of the acting almost told me that it's not like he's sad that he has to tell his son his mom's dead. He's sad that he has to do that
That
and
he has to
also
lie to
lie
him.
about
Yeah.
what happened.
So I assume that she was killed because of that interaction at
Right.
dinner.
And it was constantly being alluded to, not really explicitly, but you would see in the newspapers that like students were being killed.
Yeah.
Like people were just dying. And it was like, oh, this is randomly happening. No, it isn't. It's entirely planned.
Mm-hmm.
So she could have just been one of those people. But yeah, it's tough because there were times where like I'm trying to pay attention to like the shot, trying to pay attention to what's going on. These people are talking so fast in a
Mhm.
language that I do not know how to comprehend. So yeah, there were definitely some things that I may have missed, but just like
Yeah.
involving her, just since we're on the subject.
There was stuff that I missed too, like trying to read the subtitles
Yeah,
and watch the movie at the same time.
yeah,
Like especially when they reveal everything.
hmm
He does that interview with Elsa
yeah,
at the movie theater.
hmm
Um I got like a general understanding of what happened. Um but I was still kind of lost, and I think it's because I was trying to read so fast and just watch the picture at the same time. Okay, so my other absolute hit was the dinner scene. I I like the conversation between the rich guy and Marcelo. Um, the the rich guy was like projecting his motivation onto Marcelo. He was like, "You're patenting, or you patented the research for yourself. Like you're gonna make money off of it." But he was trying to do that as well. Like,
hmm
I don't think Marcelo was trying to make money off of it. I think he patented it because he was trying to protect it. Because they were researching like an electric car and something else. The electric car is what stood out to me because they had different departments that they discussed briefly. But I think Marcelo was trying to protect the information with the patent from sharks like that guy.
yep,
But the rich guy was just, he was like, shame on you, you're trying to hoard all this information for yourself so you can get rich. But that's exactly what he was doing
yeah.
to
He
the
was,
university.
and like Marcelo was such a good guy, or Armando was such a good guy. The man didn't even carry a gun while he was being hunted, and he also in the scene that you're talking about, like with the exception of the punch in the face, all he was saying was like you are literally being housed by my university. I am treating you with respect and inviting you here, and you have like he didn't even treat him with respect 1 second of the arrival or the time that he was there. The moment he shows up, he looks at him and says, "I pictured you differently. I thought you'd look more like professional or something." That's basically what he says to his face because he's like a long-haired, bearded guy. So while they're out to dinner, he's like, I demand respect. Like, this is crazy. You're truly treating me like I don't mean anything." And I love, here's my other absolute hit. I love Fatima getting in his face
Hmm.
and being like, "You are not an honest man. You are not a true man. My father is." And then it cuts to back then. Or I guess it would be in that context the future, because this was prior to the recordings scene when they're in that room in the theater. The grandpa's like, "Did she really say that about me?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yes, she did." And he's like, trying not to cry. That was cool. How she was not afraid And he seemed like he was afraid of
Yeah.
her. And he was like, control your woman. Like a complete misogynistic piece of shit. Like
Yeah.
she can fully fucking tell you off if she wants to. And he's just not even paying
Dude,
attention.
when she was telling him off, I was like happy. It, but I was like, he's in 1977. He would like hit you,
Oh yeah. He
like
would do worse than
a
that.
man, and especially because they're not white.
Right. And we're talking about a man who's worth, I mean, they don't explicitly say it. I would guess millions. At the
Yeah.
time, that's insane. At that time, there's no such thing as a $200 billion man.
Yeah.
This guy, though, in that time period, might as well have been. Like, you're talking about getting smacked. He could be like, okay, I literally know where you live. I will send horrifying people to your house and pick you up and you will be killed. Like that, that's the level of power that you can get if you're that fucking scary and you have that much money.
Yeah.
But she's like, yeah, fuck it. I'm getting in this guy's face. And then the son was so pointless. He was such a jackass.
My god, dude. He didn't say he had like 3 words the entire movie.
Yeah,
I wanted to
he
smack
did
him.
nothing. And he was such a cocky piece of shit.
Yeah, he had like a smirk on his face the entire movie.
Yeah.
And he like when the contract killer walks in, he's talking to him. He like puts his finger up because he's typing something, and oh my god, dude,
He was
he didn't have
such
to
an
do
asshole.
a thing. He just stood up and smiled at the dinner scene, and like it pissed me off.
Yeah, it was funny how like both father-son duos, like the son was just this privileged jackass. Like the one guy, yeah, he's cleaning out blood, but the car is so fucking nice. Like he was just such a piece of shit to people, and then even the guy that they hired was like, "You're talking to me like a fucking wild animal." It was interesting how both the fucking stepsons were just deplorable.
Hmm.
She handled it really well. He eventually did not. Like I mean, no matter who it is, you end up being the one who throws the punch, especially against somebody like that. They're gonna have complete control of how you are viewed.
Yeah.
I don't really know how many things I would say are absolute misses.
Wait, I have another mini hit.
Okay.
They barely play music in that movie.
Yeah. It's
Which I thought was
very
cool.
quiet and
Super
just
long
like
shots of no music, just like ambient sound and conversation. And then I actually wrote in my notes, but it was proven to be wrong. But like the only time I saw them playing music was like if they played it with a record or like in a radio in a vehicle.
right.
But then there's like I think there's only like one part of the movie, maybe 2 parts where they play music in the background.
Yeah.
But I really like the lack of music in this movie.
Mm-hmm. Mini hit for me, since we're doing that, was I kind of forget if I don't remember if he was like leaving work or leaving the refugee house to go somewhere else, but he walks out into the street and Carnival is happening, and you see like a lot of people in the neighborhood, even the German guy, like they're all out having fun. I thought that was a nice little detail to show like so much bad shit is going on and they will still be distracted by this. It's like a tool
Yeah.
for, people in power. It's like, oh, Carnival. No one's going to be paying any attention to us and
like
what's going on.
Bread in theaters or something.
Yeah, and it's
Bread in circuses.
yeah, and like the police chief himself is like, "Well, I predict the death count will be up over 100." It's like you are like it's like you are the police chief.
It's insane.
Yeah. He's like, "Yeah, I think it'll be about 150."
There was a newspaper
give or
that said
take
death count at 91, and he was like, don't
Yeah.
listen to that. It'll be at 100.
Yeah, it's like, don't listen to the news. That 200 people will be dead by the end of the week.
Crazy.
It's like it was just nuts.
Okay, so I want to touch on this. You said that there was no hope in the movie.
For the main character.
Yes. Okay. All right. For the main character, no. I don't think he thought he was gonna make it out, and that's why he came back to see his son, maybe. But
well, I guess like since you brought it up, I would say that there's more than just him that has no hope. Like the grandpa was doomed. Like he was gonna have to deal with this sooner or later. Elsa was doomed. Like her asset was going to get killed. what she wanted to do was not going to work. The present day girl who's so invested, she has no way of uncovering this information because not even the son knows anything.
Mhm.
It's just like no matter how hard a lot of these people were trying, what their efforts were going to amount to nothing because they really weren't in control the entire time. Like it's like history is going to be remembered the way, not to get be like cliche or whatever, but like the way like the winners want it to be remembered.
Yeah. Um, but so as I was saying, like I don't know if that really ties into hope, but the one of the refugees was like, "This is a horrible place to grow up. I don't want my kids to have to inherit this." But then we jump to the future when the girl on the computer is handing Fernando the flash drive with all the tapes.
Yeah.
Um, it seems like because it's the same exact town, it seems like it's like really developed. Like the hospital inside was really nice, but on the outside it was small. But I don't know if there were skyscrapers or like just like there were taller buildings for sure, and they had like I don't know, like when you're in a city, you see the lights inside the buildings, and they're like
Yeah.
a bluish color,
Mhm.
like fluorescent lighting. Like they look like nice buildings. She has Uber in that town, and I don't know, it just looked a lot nicer,
Mhm.
obviously, than it did in 1977.
Right.
But I don't know, maybe something happened, and I don't know what Brazil is like now, but maybe something happened. Maybe they like cleaned up the city a little bit or something. So like maybe Elsa's efforts weren't for nothing
Mhm.
and something happened because
Sure.
it just seemed like it was a little bit cleaner on the surface, I guess.
Yeah. It was also I'm not sure if Fernando even knew about the rich CEO.
Yeah.
I forget if he was brought up at all when she actually went to go see him.
Do you think he listened to the tapes?
I think he didn't because I think he just chose not to.
Yeah.
I think that the severity of the situation never fully translated to him and he didn't, become like this girl who's just like fascinated with it,
Yeah, and he wasn't.
which is very interesting because he has a direct connection to it. So like even then, like somebody whose father died as a result of the totalitarian like ism that was like that Brazil was.
But yeah, he didn't know his dad at
Mhm.
all. Didn't know his mom at all.
Yep.
Was raised by his father-in-law
Mhm.
or Marcel's father-in-law. Um, so like he doesn't really have an incentive
Yeah.
to listen to the tapes. It's
Right.
like
He
I'm
doesn't he
listening
doesn't
to the
really have
tape.
anything to spark his interest.
Yeah, like this is a man I don't know. And it's not. I doubt that he has like any animosity towards him. It's just like he wasn't there.
Yeah.
Like this is just some guy to me.
Yeah.
Like I remember maybe seeing him once,
Right. It's so
and then
nothing.
you want me to listen to this horrifying story of a man that I don't know.
Yeah.
So I guess it is kind of like that girl sitting across from um the girl who is interested, like the girl who just does not care about the story at all.
Yeah.
He could be in the exact same position as her.
He is. And but what I said was it's crazy how everybody on the spectrum can be like that. Even him,
Hmm.
somebody who was directly affected by it. Like that girl probably nobody in her family was affected by what was going on. And he is approaching it with the same lack of interest that
Yeah.
she has. I really don't think that there were any absolute misses, but I do think that one thing that people can get really annoyed by was just the lack of a satisfying ending. You really have to think about it, and you also really have to know
Yeah.
the history of the time period. Um, a lot of people could watch that movie, see that it's a thriller, and be like, "Oh, it's all going to come down to the wire, and there's going to
Yeah.
be this big shootout scene, and maybe Wagner Mora will be the winner." And no, it's like it fully tries to capture exactly what life was like at that time, even in the way it reveals what happened to the guy.
Yeah, I don't think I agree with you. I don't think the story really has a satisfying ending, but I think that is the whole point of it.
Hmm.
because it's just a story.
Yeah.
Like
It's not supposed to be satisfying because
it's
the
just what
the ending
happened.
was always like gonna be in control of the authoritarian government, I guess, at
Yeah.
the time. And we see evidence of that very early on with the rich woman getting more media attention than the housekeepers, who is actually the victim of, you know, her child dying.
Act 3, take 1, action.
How would you rank this film?
First of all, I am gonna give it a pristine. It deserved it. But I will probably put it. It's tough. I mean, it's a great movie. It's rewatchability definitely not there. Made you think, very suspenseful. But yeah, I don't know. I'd probably put it like I'll give it like a 3.8, but I'm still giving it a pristine because that experience was great, and learning about the history of Brazil at that time was pretty fascinating. Dictatorships are bad, people. Definitely don't find yourself being in favor of one of those. Don't be complicit.
So I give this movie, I'll give it a top notch. I did enjoy the movie. Did enjoy the movie. Um, I don't want to say it's boring because it's not boring, but it's like it just seems like a normal story, I guess.
Yeah,
Like it's just beginning and there's not really an end. It just kind of bleeds out or like fades out.
little slice of life,
Yeah, it's
and
it's
it's
a
it's not a good slice, but it's a
no,
slice.
no. But it's like it's a unique story to me. I also haven't seen anything like this really
Yeah, as far as the storytelling went.
because it feels like a documentary almost, but it's a fictional story, I guess. It feels real,
Yeah.
but it's fiction.
Also, how many movies have you seen where the main protagonist is revealed to be killed and like you find out by seeing a screenshot on a laptop?
None.
Yeah.
Like the closest is No Country for Old Men, but
Yeah.
you don't even find out
Right.
that
You
he's
you
dead.
at least see
You
the
just
aftermath of
yeah,
what transpired.
yeah.
Only a little bit is up for
And
interpretation.
this
You
just
know that a shootout happened at a motel. This is just like there's
this
his
just
body on the
ends.
sidewalk,
Yeah,
and you're not really seeing this when it happened. You're seeing it when a random girl who's fascinated with what happened sees
yeah.
it on a laptop.
Decades.
Yeah. So
And
yeah,
there's
very
there's like
very
no
different
yeah,
storytelling.
very unique. I'll give this movie I'll give this movie a 3.5 out of 5. Top notch movie. Definitely worth the watch. I don't I would have to come back
Yeah.
in years to watch this movie again.
For the record, I think going forward, if I can, I'd like I'll give something a pristine, but it's like
It's a soft pristine.
it's more like a lot of movies that I'm gonna be ranking really high are gonna be movies that I want to watch a lot. That's just me though. But I don't want people to listen to this and be like, well, how the heck is it below a 4? But they like it so much. So it's like, yeah, I just think it's good for that one viewing experience, just to get it all in one go.
Yeah.
It's tough to like for me to think of wanting to watch it again. But it was great. And I truly think, you know, Timothy Chalamet is great and everything, but Wagner Moura, he's been grinding. I think he deserves it this year. I think it'd be pretty cool if he wins Best Actor.
Okay. The Secret Agent was nominated for Best Picture, Best International Feature Film, Best Actor, and Best Casting. So go view the movie for yourselves, and you decide.
Do they deserve any of those? I think
Definitely, I don't think it's gonna get Best Picture.
yeah, Best Picture is going to be a lot of competition. Best International Feature Film, there's another one. I think it's called Sentimental Value. Maybe we can watch that.
Hmm.
It's a tough one about like family. That could be uh decent competition for it in the international category. But honestly, I think that Wagner Moura may have it in the bag. I think that Timothy Chalamet. This has nothing to do with the movie. This is just a theory I have. I think Timothy Chalamet is going to get a similar treatment to like Leonardo DiCaprio. This man's going to get nominated for like 5 leading roles.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not going to get them for years. I think that that's actually going to happen. I think they'll probably give it to Wagner Moura this year. I can't really think of anybody else that would be like Leonardo DiCaprio. They probably won't even favor him. I mean, he won his. Maybe they do give it to him. That would be pretty fascinating because I thought he was really good in One Battle After Another. But
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't really blown away by that,
I
but
was honestly blown away by how, I don't know. This is just me. I think Wagner Moura being as nonchalant as he was playing that character was pretty insane.
yeah, dude,
It's a pretty underrated degree of difficulty in my opinion.
the thing about this movie is that it just felt so real.
Yeah,
It because One Battle After Another felt like a fictional story,
right.
but this movie felt so real.
Right. This felt like he was truly like experiencing what Marcelo was experiencing. That's why I think he's going to win, because that scene where he's just recalling everything and you as the viewer are being told literally everything halfway
Mhm.
through the movie, he is perfectly telling that. He's perfectly delivering every single line. And maybe some other people might think, "Oh, he's just talking," but like I think it's a lot more complicated when he has to really get like those emotions out
Do you
there.
think? Well, yeah, it is more complicated because we don't speak Portuguese.
Well, that too, but I'm
But
just thinking
but hold
about
on,
like
like
his.
your emotions have to like convince us who
That's a
don't
good
speak
point.
Portuguese. Because I was just thinking, if we spoke or if we understood Portuguese, we would probably have a different like feeling about it.
True. But
But his
even with the
emotions,
fact
his control of emotions, and like body, what is it called?
body language.
Yeah, body language. It was like really good.
Yeah, it's and I'm literally I don't even speak a damn word of the language, and I was watching it like, oh my god, I don't feel like I'm looking at an actor. I feel like I'm looking at somebody who's like actually being interviewed about what happened
Yeah,
to them.
yeah.
And that's like, you know, we can talk for hours about the people who have to sit through 9 hours of makeup and then put on a performance as the Frankenstein creature. We can talk all we want about somebody doing a biopic of somebody else and having to like he was just this is a maybe it was based off I think it was based off true events but not an actual person.
Mhm.
Like he truly had to embody the like adversity and stress and anger that one would have in that society where they just have no control. And I think he did a brilliant job. And he was like scary when he was talking about how he's not a violent man, but he would beat this man in the head with a hammer.
Mhm.
And they were like, "Do you carry a gun?" And he goes, "No." And they go, "Do you know how to use one?" He goes, "No, but I know how to use a hammer." And
Mhm.
then he turns the recording back on. That to me was like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people would disagree with me, but I think that that scene was like incredibly difficult to pull off as an actor, and he did it so well. So that's my case for him winning
Yeah,
leading role.
I think you make a good case. I'm not gonna dispute any of it.
Yeah, I like if on Oscar night when they're showing a little snippet from the movie, I think they still do that. Like when they're displaying the best actor
Yeah.
nominees,
You
they
think
play
it'll be
like a
that
little
scene?
snippet. They're gonna play something from that part. They're gonna have to because it's great. The delivery. Thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. This is Frankie Collins.
This is Aaron Simonai.
We'll hope to see you again on our next episode of Post Production.
Bye bye.
And